Shalom, Kol Halal, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Kodash, double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, even the elders that came before them, that taught us this truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and its sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, to the Aquat that are listening, learning, being a pillar of rest, the 144,000 and one-third, the hopeful elect of Israel, on the brother Yahshua. Back with the WW3 Daily Update. Shalom and salutations to you all. Second Ezra 13 and 31. So lock it. 31. And 1. Let's start at 29. Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth, the elect of Israel. And Salakia. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. All right, we're going to let Scott Ritter talk, and we're going to he's going to give a slight update. This is Israel's defense destroyed by Iran's missiles. Hezbollah crushing IDF. Yeah, he said a lot. Let me see. I don't know where to start it. What you should do is go watch this whole interview, but we're just going to play the first end of it. Very important to understand what is going on, okay? Because if you just watch mainstream media or legacy news, you believe that Israel's whooping ass. But this guy, okay, you could whoop ass on the battlefield, but what about the war of public opinion? Okay, what about the propaganda war, right? Oh, guess what? Killing women and children, you're losing the propaganda war. Especially when they killed all these, they beheaded babies. Oh, that turns out to be a lie, but you're the one out beheading babies. Or just obliterating them completely by exploding them. Which one is worse, right?
We are looking at Israel's strike at the very least being overall ineffective, and therefore saying a lot about where both Israel and the United States are at when it comes to Iran. But also, Iran fits into a larger picture here because there obviously is a much bigger conflict, a much bigger war that has been brewing that we've been talking about on this show here in West Asia. So, Scott, where are we now given what Israel has done, regardless of its successes and its failures? Where exactly are we now when it comes to this overall situation?
Okay, before I allow him to answer, remember the precept. Okay, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city, one nation, da 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 da. It's all about war. Okay, war is how the world as we know it comes to an end with ICBM. So it's pretty significant to understand what's going on in the war. Why? We got to go back real quick. Why? This is how you tell time, okay? I should go back to 9. I'm not going to do it. I'll quote it. 2nd Ezra 9 and 1. Measure thou the time diligently in itself. Right? What does it mean to measure the time? Well, how close are we to Yahushua coming back? That's what it means to measure the time. Well, here's a little illustration of that time. Behold, the days come, meaning we're in those days, when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. Okay? So that's a clue as to when. All right? And one shall undertake to fight against another. One city. Is this happening right now? The answer is yes. This part in one realm, is that happening right now? I can prove that it is. Okay? That would be the angels fighting, right? But this is certainly going on. So what does that mean? That we're close to this. Okay. So anyway, the fighting. One city again. Let's see. I'm trying to get you. I'm trying to. And one shall undertake to fight against another. Here's the fight. It's World War III.
in the Middle East.
Well, we need to know what Iran's intent is here. I believe that Iran did not have full knowledge beforehand of October 7th, and that the Hamas attack on October 7th and what transpired thereafter took Iran by surprise, and that they needed to come up with a policy on how to deal with this. And the policy that Iran came up with was a policy of managed escalation using the total resources of the so-called axis of resistance to operate in support of Hamas, not to operate in concert with Hamas towards a greater objective. See, there's a difference there. If Iran had planned this, then Hamas's actions are the initiating strike in a larger campaign designed to achieve a broader result than simply the Hamas desire for a Palestinian state. I don't see Iran having a broader intent here. Iran seems to be operating in support of Hamas's objectives, and so escalation management is the name of the game, and that's something that both Hezbollah and Iran have been doing quite effectively.
Let's stop it right there and comment on how this guy, his perception of the battlefield and what's going on in the larger scale of things. Not just the war, but what is this going to achieve in the future, right? It's hard to explain. See, a man of the Lord knows that this thing is almost over. But what they're doing is they're fighting each other to see who's going to run shit after these wars, right? So that doesn't make sense to a man of the Lord because he knows that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to run shit. They don't, he ain't, after this, right, it's the cotton field. So, this guy, his insight into war, he knows what's going on, okay? He's been there. So he's telling you, right, almost from a spiritual standpoint, okay, because what he's saying is spot on, and everything he says a year later comes to pass, all right? So he's basically telling you that this thing is over, right? Meaning conventional weapons is over. Now it's time to move to the ICBM.
Using Hezbollah capabilities, using capabilities out of Syria and Iraq, using Ansarallah in Yemen, and using Iran when necessary. But the goal isn't to create a broader regional conflict. And one of the reasons why I put a lot of emphasis on that is Iran's strategic objective to October 2023 was this dramatic geopolitical realignment that it was participating and taking a lead in which we now know as BRICS. And Iran attended BRICS as a member, one of the new members, and the whole thing of BRICS, and just ask
again, see how he's projecting the future. Oh, this is about BRICS and who's going to lead the new world since America is on its downfall, and who's going to be the next new superpower. See, they believe that their houses are going to go on forever. And the men of the Lord were like, hey, nigga, this shit is damn near over. So we're laughing. But he's projecting the future from a worldly standpoint. So
I was like to be sitting in a summit that you're the host for, and having people constantly remind you that BRICS is about de-escalation. BRICS is about
saving the
the
world,
peaceful resolution of problems, to avoid violence-based solutions.
peace and safety.
And so there was a lot of pressure being put on Putin, to find a way to bring this Ukrainian conflict to an end. And similar pressure is put on Iran not to allow this to escalate, this conflict in the Middle East to escalate out of control. That's bad for everybody. It's not, it's not the BRICS brand. And Iran, as a full-fledged member of BRICS, has to adhere to this. So I listen to the people saying Iran is going to strike back, and I say, why? Why? What's in it for Iran? Deterrence? They've already established that. Iran proved without a shadow of a doubt that it can strike any place in Israel it wants, at any time it wants, with whatever capacity it wants, and it will hit the targets that it wants to hit. They've proven that. Israel does not have a missile defense shield, either on its own or in coordination with the United States and the European allies, that is capable of stopping Iran's ballistic missiles, especially when employed the way that Iran does, with mass attacks using missiles of varying degrees of technology and the tactics, separating warheads, decoys, maneuvering warheads, hypersonic missiles. All of this together overwhelmed the Israeli defense systems. And
see the level of his insight. He knows how these things work. He knows how what they call a fade missile system intercepting. He understands the system, the weapon systems, knows of them, knows how they work, knows what they can and can't do. So when he's giving his opinion, he's factoring all those things in, and he's letting you know what the outcome is going to be a year later.
And stop the attack. So Iran has made it clear that it can attack Israel anytime it wants. Israel was supposed to send a signal to Iran saying, yeah, but you're going to pay it. You could pay a heavy price if you actually tried to hit us really hard. Israel didn't send that signal. That signal was not received. And so the Iranians, they don't have to convince Twitter. They don't have to convince Telegram. They're not here to win the argument in Danny Haifong's chat on the stream. Iran doesn't care about any of that. Iran cares what the principal players think. And Iran is a mature state, and they know what Israel knows. They know that Israel knows that Israel's attack didn't succeed. And they know that Israel knows that Iran's attack did succeed. And that if they want to continue this game, Iran has the upper hand. That's deterrence. And so why would Iran have to continue this game? Iran, right now, go back to the strategic intent, to support Hamas. Hamas is winning. I know that's hard for a lot of people to accept, because they look.
Listen to this, it's very deep.
Sinwar being assassinated. They look at, he wasn't assassinated, by the way, he was killed in combat. They look at, the casualties that Hamas is taking. They're looking at the genocide being carried out against the Palestinian people by Israel. And they say, how can you possibly call that a victory? Well, I've always said that the victory in the Gaza conflict is defined by Israel's objectives when compared and contrasted to Hamas's. Israel said that victory for them is the destruction of Hamas as a political force and as a military force. Right?
Oh,
hey, you ever seen a
Salakia, damn, it was good. This is very, very important commentary.
Right now, the Israeli army is collapsing. Don't take it from me. There's a retired Israeli brigadier general out there right now who's saying that the Israeli forces are so demoralized, going back into Gaza for the third, fourth time, fighting over the same territory that they thought they had conquered before. Now have to go back in the same place that their buddies died last time. New buddies are going to die, or they're going to die. The desertion rate in the Israeli army right now is between 12 and 24%, depending on the unit. Some reservists are just saying, we ain't going back. We're not doing it. We're not going to Gaza, and we damn sure aren't going to southern Lebanon. That is a death trap. Hezbollah is kicking their butts. I know.
Hear this? This guy knows what he's saying, right? And all these war analysts, they're all saying the same thing.
What are you talking about? They're blowing up tunnels, baby. They're blowing up tunnels. They show videos of Hezbollah guys surrendering and all that. Yeah, that's happening.
Listen, close.
But, Israel's supposed to be advancing on a 100-kilometer front, penetrating 20 kilometers deep, pushing Hezbollah back. At the max, they have a 2-kilometer penetration. That doesn't even work. They tried to take a hill last night. They got slapped off the hill. They went down to regroup in a valley. They got beat up in the valley. They tried to evacuate. They got ambushed on the evacuation. And that is the average day for Israel. And
so he's saying they're getting their ass kicked on the battlefield, right? And not only that, but the opinion of them as they show themselves to be the devil in the whole world, right? They're losing that too. Public opinion.
And then in Gaza, it ain't any better. They don't own any part of Gaza. When they go to bed at night, they don't know if a Hamas person is going to come up out of the ground right where they bivouacked. They don't know if their tank isn't going to get in it. They don't know. And every day it's like that. And the Israeli army isn't trained or, mentally not prepared to fight a war of this duration. They're not supposed to fight for this long. These are primarily reservist-based military conscripts. They're supposed to have this technological supremacy. They're supposed to go in and fight very short conflicts, weeks, maybe months. That's it. This thing's gone on for more than a year.
So you see his knowledge on the subject. What does all of this spell? Okay. Well, really, it's about an escalation. It's going to escalate. Israel is surrounded, okay, and they're desperate to bring America in. So they have to do something that's going to bring America in. They have to get one of these countries to hit them so hard that America has to come to their rescue. All right? So anyway, that was just a quick, let me get out of here. Just a quick, lead up. Let me get this. Revelation. Because this is where it's all going. Revelation 11. Try it again. 11 and 8. 11 and 14. In any version. Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe has passed. Behold, the third woe is coming short. Is. Not might. No. Is coming shortly. All right, the lead up to it. It's actually jumping off, but it's going to end in ICBM nuclear exchange. Okay, and it's a buildup right now. The whole Iran thing, Iran supposedly doesn't have a nuclear weapon. If the world ends in nuclear annihilation, it's not going to be from Iran, allegedly, right? Okay, so Iran is dealing with what they call conventional weapons. Okay, so as it grows, as this thing escalates, then Iran will reveal, oh, nigga, we had nukes the whole damn time. To let you know the time frame of how quickly this thing is expiring. So with that, we hope that the elector edified you brothers and few sisters. With that, I'm going to say shalom.